It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be blocked out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. To start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Our game here in Detroit, a Thanksgiving tradition dating back to 1934. And it is the first of 3 games today, per usual. We'll see the Giants and Cowboys from Dallas after us. And then later tonight, the nightcap, another game with NFC North intrigue. The Pats and Vikings from Minneapolis. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, here's Gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Lions, nothing. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is in his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Swift on the counter. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Goff. That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down. The Lions have 1-9 now on the year. Whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true as well, because this is a club in desperate need of a spark out of somewhere. A big play on offense, turnover, takeaway on defense, something to get them pointed in the right direction. They need it quickly.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
On the keeper, here's Goff. And he's going to have the Lions first down as he pushes forward for a couple on 4th and inches. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now a toss for Swift left side. He'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Goff. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
But they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
They start the drive with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Bills 7, Lions 0.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Cook again. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football. care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Romeo Okwara working his way in and getting the tackle for loss.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try it now with Swift. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Finding Knox there, complete. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
It's a gain of 35. First down, Buffalo.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurley. We're good.
Back to throw, Goff. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close, they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field. Probably give.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-0.
21, Lions nothing. Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3 and out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Stephon Diggs, halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it is 28-0.
Lions, nothing.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
At the 35-yard line.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, Allen. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Value 3.
After the interception, here's Goff. And this complete to Mitchell. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Goff now looks to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Goff going to keep it himself. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jared Goff with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Lions take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
The Lions will set up for the 2-point conversion.
Goff looking to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this, because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Allen. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
They'll try the wide side with Cook. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Some of the big boppers in the game traditionally have been safeties, and he certainly fits that mold. He lets his pads do his talking.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And now they'll throw with Allen. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Allen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. The Bills send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Allen now looks to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Howard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Allen going to go on 4th down. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the 1st down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, the decision paid off indeed. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Allen taking it himself, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Josh Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bills are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Tyler Bass for the kickoff for Buffalo.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On 2nd and 2, Goff. And now here is another interception. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Would it be Frank Seedy? This is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go right back to Singletary. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it will set them back for 2nd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Oh, it's a jet sweep. Here's Davis. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
It's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just get going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They dealt the offense.